factoring a difference of squares. Right? What do we mean by difference of squares? Difference means subtraction, right? And squares means it should be one whole thing being squared minus another whole thing being squared. Right? Is that what we see we have already? Try again. We don't. We see we got x squared and y squared, but that's not like one whole thing being squared. But we should recognize 4 and 9, those are perfect squares. So how could we rewrite it so it looks like one whole thing being squared? What would that whole thing be that has the 2 outside parentheses? 2x. Okay, minus, and what would the second one then be? 3y. Okay, and then by the pattern of factoring a difference of squares, that would equal 2x plus 3y, 2x minus 3y. Right? Right. This is the sum of cubes. Right? Which means the sum is a plus, and it should be two things that are being cubed. Okay, is it written like that? No, but again, you should recognize 125 is a perfect cube. What number cubed equals 125? 5. Right? So you write it as x to the third plus 5 to the third. Right? And then, do you remember what was the first factor? These are formulas you're never given. You got to know them. X plus 5, right? It matches this, x plus 5. And the second factor is a trinomial. It's always 2 terms times 3 terms, always. And what goes in the second? X squared? Nope. Minus 5x plus what? 5 squared. I'll just write it. That's a formula we have. Okay. A to the third plus b to the third equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. You just have to memorize it. Okay? You have to memorize it and then know how to apply it. Okay? This one is a difference of cubes because in the middle it's a subtract, right? So again, we expect one whole thing being cubed minus another whole thing being cubed. How can I rewrite it to make it look like that? Say again? Yeah, you recognize 8 is a perfect cube, so it's 2x cubed minus, what do I write next? 1 cubed, right? You can always write 1 as to the third power. It doesn't change the value. Okay, so now, what is the first factor? Again, it'll be a binomial times a trinomial. What's the binomial? Just like this one, it was x plus 5. This one is 2x minus 1. It always matches. Since this is a difference, that's a difference. Okay? And then inside parentheses, you know, all these terms are the same. The only thing that changes are the sign in between. So this would be 2x squared, which is 4x squared. Now it's a plus 2x times 1 and a plus 1.